warm welcome to the AI with Arun show. Imagine a project so vital, so ambitious, that it is immediately compared to two of the most consequential scientific endeavors in American history: the Apollo program that landed the US on the moon, and the Manhattan Project that ushered in the nuclear age. That is the scale of the initiative we are discussing today, the Genesis mission. On November 24th, 2025, President Donald Trump signed a landmark executive order launching this mission. The central goal is audacious: to take the nation's immense power in AI and fuse it directly our scientific infrastructure. Now, this is a whole of government effort designed to accelerate discovery. It is not just about adding AI to science, it's about industrializing American science to secure global technology dominance. Why now? Why this massive effort? Because the mission is built on a controversial idea called the Stagnation Thesis. The argument goes like this: for decades, the US government has pumped exponential amounts of money into research, but the rate of fundamental scientific breakthroughs, the true game changers, has plateaued. The US has hit a ceiling. Officials point to metrics like Irum's law. Now, this is the observation that drug discovery is getting slower and more expensive over time, despite better technology. It suggests that human scientists, with their current cognitive bandwidth, are hitting a limit. The administration believes that artificial intelligence (AI) is the only necessary catalyst to break this stalemate. By moving away from the old, slow, human centric model towards an AI augmented, data driven cycle, the White House aims to double the productivity and impact of American science within a decade. Now, this is a paradigm shift, moving the focus from decentralized curiosity to concentrated industrial policy. So, what does Genesis actually mandate? The urgency is entirely driven by geopolitics. This mission is explicitly framed as a race for global technology dominance, primarily against China. To win this race, the Department of Energy, or DOE, is mandated to build the American Science and Security Platform, or ASSP. Think of the ASSP as a unified, secure nervous system for all federal science. It must bring together massive federal datasets, the nation's supercomputers, and cutting edge AI modeling frameworks. Just like the Manhattan Project justified secrecy and centralization to achieve its goal, the Genesis mission uses the same rhetoric to bypass slow bureaucracy. It reframes scientific data not as something to be shared openly, but as a national strategic asset that must be guarded and secured on unified platforms. The problem isn't a lack of data, it's a lack of connectivity. The US government holds the largest collection of scientific data in the world, from the Human Genome Project to nuclear testing data. But most of it is functionally useless for modern AI because it is siloed and often trapped in obsolete servers. The ASSP's first job is to solve this data challenge. They plan to use a federated data access system. This means instead of moving massive data sets to one place, which is nearly impossible, the AI agents will travel to the data, querying the secure enclaves across 17 national labs. A crucial yet complex task is standardization and metadata. Imagine two different labs studying a new material. If one records temperature in Fahrenheit and the other in Celsius, the AI model will learn junk. They must develop systems to ensure that the provenance and metadata, the history and labels of the data, are perfectly uniform for the AI to learn valid correlations. The final platform will blend massive on prem supercomputers like Frontier with secure commercial cloud environments. This is where the Genesis mission stops being incremental and becomes truly revolutionary. Closed loop discovery. It's about removing the human from the loop of routine experimentation. Here's how the cycle works: AI hypothesis generation. An advanced AI system called a scientific foundation model, trained on the rules of physics and chemistry, not just human language, predicts a novel material. Let's say a new battery cathode that lasts 10 times longer. Then, two, autonomous execution. The AI doesn't wait for a human. It instantly sends the exact experimental parameters directly to a robotic lab. Then, three, robotic action. Robots mix the reagents, synthesize the material, and measure its properties 24 by 7. As researchers at the Argonne National Lab point out, robots don't get tired. And the fourth one is instant feedback. The results are immediately fed back to the AI model. The AI updates its understanding and designs the next better experiment instantly. The objective is to shorten discovery timelines from years to days or even hours. By training on all federal data, including negative data, meaning all the failed experiments, the AI can theoretically avoid repeating scientific dead ends, which is a high inefficiency in current research. Now, who is running the Manhattan Project for AI? The governance reflects a mix of high level policy and Silicon Valley acceleration. We see a clear leadership triad. So, Michael Kratsios, the OSTP director, provides the overall strategic vision and ensures all federal agencies are aligned with the mission. Chris Wright, he is the Secretary of Energy, leads the operational implementation, overseeing the 17 national labs and ensuring the physical infrastructure is built. And then David Sachs is a special advisor for AI and crypto, a newly created role designed to interface with big tech and venture capital, reflecting a pro tech stance. Crucially, the executive order established an extremely aggressive timeline. This is not a 10-year research grant. Initial operating capability for the entire ASSP platform is demanded within 9 months of the order being signed. 9 months, not 9 years. Within just 60 days, the DOE was required to list the first 20 priority scientific challenges from fusion energy to semiconductors that the AI platform will completely target. The Genesis mission relies almost entirely on scaling up incredible work already happening at the 17 national labs, which the order calls the engines of discovery. Let's look at three quick examples. One, the Oak Ridge National Library, ORNL. They lead the Intersect initiative. The goal is to create smart labs by connecting instruments like neutron sources directly to supercomputers, not superconductors, supercomputers. Early pilots reduced the time needed to create new quantum materials by 80% because the AI could steer the experiment in real time. Then the second one, let's look at the Argonne National Lab, which is the ANL. They operate the Polybot program, a fully autonomous lab designed to discover new electronic polymers. The AI brain selects the best experiment to run based on desired properties, freeing up human scientists from routine work like pipetting and measuring. And then the Lawrence Berkeley National Lab, the LBNL, they pioneered the A Lab. The lab uses AI to browse databases of theoretical materials, select promising candidates, and direct robotic arms to synthesize them. If the synthesis fails, the AI doesn't wait. It analyzes the failure and instantly adjusts the recipe, like a superhuman chemist learning from its mistakes at lightning speed. Now, here is where science policy crashes directly into energy policy. Winning the AI race requires massive computing power, and that power requires a stable, huge electrical supply. The administration has used this need to launch its energy dominance doctrine. Officials criticize previous policies that retired coal and gas plants, calling it the energy subtraction, arguing that it weakened grid stability. AI demand is soaring. Projections show data centers could triple electricity demand in some US regions. To meet this demand with reliable power, the DOE has explicitly linked the AI race to the necessity of dispatchable, meaning non weather dependable power sources. The result is concrete policy action. The DOE has ordered specific coal and oil and gas facilities to remain operational past their planned closure dates to prevent unnecessary power outages. Furthermore, a DOE report was released concluding that the rapid green transition created a major supply mismatch, warning that blackouts could increase by 100 times by 2030 if firm capacity like coal and gas is not added. Effectively, the administration is arguing that we cannot have a rapid AI revolution without relying on fossil fuels. While the Genesis mission is a national security effort, it relies heavily on the private sector. Since the executive order explicitly states implementation is subject to the availability of appropriations, meaning Congress has not written a huge check yet, the mission must rely on public private partnerships. The government uses its most valuable asset, its exclusive federal data, as currency. Companies like Microsoft or Google may provide massive compute credits or infrastructure in exchange for access to the platform's datasets. Wall Street reacted immediately. Nvidia rose over 2% because the market expects the government to be a huge buyer of GPUs for the national labs. Alphabet, Google, gained over 6%, anticipating lucrative cloud partnerships and software integration. Wall Street views the Genesis mission not as a government competitor, but as a massive subsidy program that will drive sustained demand for high end technology infrastructure. The Genesis mission is not ideologically neutral, it's deeply embedded in a specific political worldview focused on maximizing speed and capability. The administration issued a separate executive order on preventing woke AI in the federal government. In this context, woke AI refers to algorithms that include mandated bias mitigation or diversity weighing, standards which the administration argues degrade science. Now, this is a move towards deregulation of AI safety standards, prioritizing raw capability and optimization above traditional fairness or equity metrics. Furthermore, the appointment of David Sachs as the advisor for AI and crypto suggests the potential integration of blockchain technology. Why crypto? Because managing the provenance, bringing the audit trail and history of the massive federal datasets is a perfect use case for immutable ledger technology, ensuring the data used to train these powerful scientific models is secure and has not been tampered with. For a mission of this scale, the risks are profound and must be understood. The first one is AI hallucination risk. We know that foundation models are prone to hallucinations, generating results that sound plausible but are scientifically false. In creative writing, that is a glitch. In material science or nuclear engineering, an AI hallucination could predict an explosive or unsafe compound. If the closed loop systems are fully autonomous, these errors could spread quickly before a human scientist catches them. The second one is reproducibility crisis. Automated labs can generate data in scientific papers faster than the current human peer review system can handle. Critics worry that this could flood the scientific record with AI slop, low quality, erroneous, or redundant findings that undermine trust in the scientific record. The third one is infrastructure and grid fragility. The mission's reliance on aging fossil fuel infrastructure creates a dangerous single point of failure. As the DOE itself warned, the grid is fragile. Relying on coal and gas plants, often far from new data hubs, risk increasing blackouts. The Genesis mission is a profound restructuring of the American scientific enterprise. It's a single national effort to secure a decisive strategic advantage in the 21st century. At its heart, the mission is defined by five interconnected pillars. The one is about scientific acceleration, using closed loop robotic labs to shrink discovery timelines. The second one is about the unified infrastructure, creating the American Science and Security Platform, the ASSP. The third one is energy policy, leveraging the demand for AI power to enforce the energy dominance strategy. The fourth one is geopolitics, securing technology hegemony against China through export controls and rapid deployment. And the fifth one is about governance, centralized control through the DOE and the OSTP, tightly integrated with private technology leaders. The Genesis mission marks a decisive end of the small science era. It's the beginning of industrialized science, where the hypothesis is generated by silicon, the experiment is executed by steel, and the energy is often supplied by carbon, all directed by centralized authority aiming for global dominance. With that, we come to the end of the show. Please support our work by joining us as a member. And thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please like, share, and subscribe to the AI with Arun show. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back soon.